It's Pennsylvania.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. Today is Tuesday and it's 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. And I tell you, we got another great show lined up for you guys. We got a returning guest, another broadcaster, photojournalist. He's in the green room. And I tell you, I'm so excited to have him back on the show. Last time he was a fill-in. This time he here on purpose. So, I'm so glad he'll be able to be more relaxed now. He's still doing the same thing that he always do, traveling all across the country. But we're going to wait till we get him on the air to talk about that. So the first thing I like to do is give a shout out. Each and every time I go live, I give a shout out to my mentor, Dr. Hunt. Now, Dr. Hunt and I have been traveling in life together for 30 plus years. And out of those 30 plus years, he has been a blessing to both me and my family, as well as I have been a blessing to him and his family. So I always like to make sure that I talk about him because it's a subliminal message there. And the message is this: mentors are invaluable. If you don't have a mentor, you need to get one. Someone that can be there to help you with your ups and downs in life and that can lead you in the right direction because they've been on the planet long enough to be able to help you navigate through some of the things that life has to offer. So that's why I celebrate my mentor as much as I do, because I want you to see the excitement that I have when I talk about them so that you will want to have a mentor in your life, somebody that can help you and you can help them. Okay, it's a two-way street, so definitely get you a mentor and then get you a show so you can shout your mentor out. Okay, so definitely do that. I want to invite you guys to go over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. When you get over there, I want you to be able, the first thing to notice that you can click on the watch live and watch each and every show live in real time. Now, you can also watch the show on my YouTube channel. You can watch it over there. But the important thing is, if you can find your way to my website, you'll be able to watch every live broadcast right here and right there. And as you can see, I have a few of my advertisers listed here. Now, I'm going to talk about these advertisers just a little bit because I want you to understand what they do, because they help make it possible for me to do everything that I do out here on the show. So the first one I want to talk about is RRJ Web. RRJ Web will help you fix your broken website. He will also help you create a new website. If you have an idea or a concept that's in your head and you need to get it out of your head, RRJ Web can help you do that. He can also, if you've got a website that you've been paying those monthly fees on and it don't do what it's supposed to do, he can help you fix and navigate that. Because sometimes you got to understand that's not our area of expertise. And even if it is, it's always good to have someone that can help navigate those waters for you. Sir Synergy. Sir Synergy has been with me for a while now, and they help you understand and navigate through solar energy. Solar energy is definitely the future. If you don't understand how it works and how it can be a benefit for you and your family, you want to reach out to Sir Synergy because that's their area of expertise. And you definitely want to sit down and talk to them about, hey, what can I do to get into the solar energy arena? Okay, talk to them. They can help you navigate. Port Again Sam. Port Again Sam has been with me for 15 plus years. And I tell you, he brings in some of the best wines and spirits from all over the world. Now, if you're a person that enjoys a good glass of wine or a good cognac, you definitely want to reach out to Port Again Sam and find out what your new next wine, what your favorite new wine is going to be. Now, I'm going to give y'all a little 411 about Sam and Port Again Sam. He has limited quantities on everything that he has. So when it's gone, it's gone. So my tip to you is to find what you like and buy enough of it so you don't run out no time soon. Okay? So I definitely want to encourage you to click on any one of these banners or any one of the flyers that are on the website, and it'll take you directly to their website so you can make arrangements to find out more details about the advertiser. Now, I saved this last one, Prince Hunter Financial Group, because it's very important for you to catch the revelation behind this one. If you are a person who are interested in finding out about the stock market or the Forex market, you want to reach out to Prince Hunter Financial Group because they are offering 4 free classes. All you got to do is tell them that you heard about it during the announcement on the Ask Dr. Ron show. You want your 4 free classes. Send them out an email, send them out a phone request so you can get your 4 free classes. There are people that are turning into millionaires dealing with the stock market. And you want to have an opportunity to understand what they understand so that you can become a millionaire yourself. Okay? There's a lot of people that don't understand how it works, but I tell you, it's nothing to be afraid of. If you've got knowledge and you know how to use that knowledge, it'll work for you just like it works for all the Fortune 500 companies that are out there, controlling what's going on in everybody's world and everybody's lifestyle. So now, like I mentioned at the top of the show, my brother and my new friend, Gary Hunter, is on his way somewhere. I was hoping he would have found some place to stop and park right now because I'm not looking to be no witness to no accident, while he out there riding down the road trying to get to where he going. But I tell you, it's always a pleasure because he comes with such a plethora of knowledge. Photojournalist, reporter, newspaper proprietor, Mr. Gary Hunter. Welcome back to the show, my brother.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. Appreciate you, and appreciate your brotherhood.
Thank you, man. Look, we were talking right before we went live, and I want to pick that conversation up because it was such a profound conversation about appearance. Now I know you probably older than me. I just got more gray hair than you, but you said something that I think we need to, regurgitate so people can hear it. I said, man, you just, drove into Washington, D.C., and I know that yesterday or the day before you was in Chicago, then you said you went home, and now you in D.C., and I said, man, you got a suit on. You got a whole suit on. You was like, yeah. You said, everywhere I go, you see me, you're going to see me in a suit. So please share that wisdom and knowledge, with the people on today.
Appearance is the first thing somebody gonna see, say, and even think of you. If they see you and never speak to you, they saw you. If they speak to you, they still saw you first. And I'm sick of people talking about correction. I'm sick of mothers coming to the defense of the foolishness of the kids, talking about let them have their own identity. No, the reason why we are what we are today is because somebody had more sense than us. And they curved us for our future. They not only curved us for our future, but they developed us for success. We chose to either accept that or we chose to reject it. I thank God for the men and women around me who kept me rooted. And, I remember before beards and mustache became comfortable after COVID, most men would stay clean shaven. And they would stay clean shaven because your appearance of cleanliness, neat, professional, all of that matters to people who may or may not have the authority to help you to the next level. And we started this off because I was watching, driving through Northwest or Southwest DC. I'm watching a prom send-off. And a young man got on all black, looking nice, what we call floods. His pants is way above his ankles. He has no socks on, and he got gym shoes on. And I said to you, man, I wish, when we gonna get back to the days when young men think dressing up is putting on a pair of shoes that shine?
Right.
The problem is they mama have no concept.
Right.
I had a woman about 40 years old say to me, I was over my cousin's house, and she said, the man with the shiny shoes. I'm like, what kind of man you got if his shoes ain't shine? Now we gonna get some dust. One of the first places I go when I hit the west side of Chicago.
Shine King.
Is it Shine King?
Yeah,
or
that's what
King?
they call him. Shine King.
Shine
King.
On
yes,
Central.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Was that Central and Lake?
Yes, sir.
Right by the bar lot.
Yes,
and
sir.
If I can flash down into my shoes, you will see they did a good job.
Always.
If I was in Detroit, for one of the first places I go to is Reds. It's called Jazz Red or Red Jazz. And I used to brag about who shines shoes the best. And if you had your shoes shining either one of those, there's no place you can go in the world that's going to do you justice. Like the south side of the west side of Chicago used to be a place on 111th too. I don't know if he's still there. Where downstairs, right as soon as you turn off of 57 on 111, you go down almost to the old Cavalry. They good too, but it's part of our makeup.
Right. That's right.
To be decent and in order. It's part of our makeup. To have some type of personality in your dress code.
That's right.
It's part of our makeup.
And in ministry, in ministry they call it your uniform. That's your uniform. Because when you show up with a shiny pair of shoes and a nice crisp shirt collar, that's your uniform.
I got one better than that. They used to say, dress like you the president, even if you the janitor. That's what we grew up learning. I'm gonna pull over so I ain't doing all this driving while I'm.
Thank you, because you're making me nervous. Look, you ain't driving no 800 miles from Detroit to DC to go, oops, I think I just killed a pedestrian or something. We don't want to hear that. I don't want them to have to, take this video and use it as evidence against you, But let's talk about proper attire for a little bit, because I remember when I was a teenager, the images of success that I saw growing up, was three-piece suits,
That
real
part.
shoes.
Yeah.
We had, and I was in the streets, and people didn't know how old I was. And I've always had facial hair since I was in high school, so that allowed people to not really know how old I was and too embarrassed to ask, because there's like, well, he got hair on his face, so he must be older than what he is and what he looked like, and I'm gonna tell you something. I was talking with a friend of mine from that same time period and same era, and we used to talk about getting dressed to go out every night. I mean, three-piece suit, we was clean. And when you got on a three-piece suit, because that was the fashion back then, bell bottoms, silk socks, silk underwear, you wasn't going out in the street with no humbug on your mind. You wasn't,
And
your
you wasn't going out there to
mentality,
fight. You wasn't going out there to
no,
battle.
none of that.
You wanted to
None of that.
avoid all trouble at all
All
costs.
trouble. Now, I ain't gonna say we didn't have a Saturday night special in our vest pocket, but we wasn't out there trying to create, a murder scene. You know what I'm saying? We was out
And
there.
every incident wasn't a fight incident.
Right.
Now you
Yep.
bump into somebody, he dissed me. You say the wrong thing, he dissed me.
Right.
I never forget I was, doing some counseling in the jails, and the brother's in a wheelchair. The other brother dead.
Mm.
You can't walk no more. He dead, and you in jail.
Mm.
How dissed are you not?
Wow. Yeah, that's terrible.
Now, can you believe he said this to me even after being in jail a couple years? Wow, I never thought about it that way. I'm telling y'all, listen to me real good on this. To every mother, to every auntie, to every grandmama, to every grandfather, every father. If you don't put God in them, the devil will make a fool out of them.
Yep.
Let me try it again. If you don't put God in them, you got two choices. You either hot or cold, the Bible says. You either got God or you got the evil spirits.
Yeah.
And these mothers who think that they know it all, I seen a lady arguing the other day. And if you would have heard what they're arguing about, you would have slapped her yourself. When mothers jump in a child's argument and act like a child.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have a whole generation of neglected believers.
Mm-hmm.
They go to church, they know of God, but they don't know God. You cannot know God and act like that.
Well, preacher, you know what the problem is. Can I chime in for a second?
Go ahead.
Women and people allow their emotions to rule them, and their emotions are an enemy to common sense, wisdom. When you allow your emotions to flame out of control constantly all the time, then you can't even think straight. You can't, because like I think about when we were coming up. Like I said, I know you're older than me. I just got all the gray hair. When we were coming up, there were family situations that extended past the immediate family. Because my family, we were latchkey kids. So my mother and my father, my stepfather, depending on which era that we talk about, they used to tell us to go straight home after school, and then the phone would ring, and then you had to be there to answer it. But now after
We,
they checked on you,
we was on tether and probation before we knew what it was. You had to
look,
be in before the street lights came on. You better answer that phone if you was going home alone. The neighbors could
that's what I
tell
was
on
just
you when
getting
you would
ready to
get a
get to. That's the part that I was trying to get to. If the
The
neighbors saw you
village
out,
could whoop you. The village could
that's right.
discipline you. My own sister lashed out at me before about saying something to her child. And that was 20 years ago. I ain't said nothing to him since.
Yep.
And I know she regretted to this day based upon how they act.
Right.
And you could tell the difference in a disciplined child growing up and a non-disciplined.
Absolutely.
I look
Absolutely.
at a friend of mine whose daughter was just demonic when we first started talking to each other. And I just called her. I said, she got a demon in her.
Mm.
She would do anything to get the attention.
Mm.
If that means lie, deceive, or whatever. I thought she was being developed a little better right now, but they did something a few weeks ago, which lets me know her mama's demon is being raised in her.
Mm.
And that's what scares us.
Mm-hmm.
Is these mothers have gotten away with stuff the kids can't get away with.
Mm-hmm.
But you do that stuff to a man these days, you would get shot.
Yeah.
We in Detroit, we've had at least 4 or 5 suicide murders.
Mm.
And everybody keeps on, men need to be stronger than that. Oh, what you mean? He's human. Right. You don't know if the money you using is his rent, his house note. Have he stolen from his 401k to give you pleasure?
Right.
That's and then you run down the street with another man.
Mm.
And then women want to act, I don't know what kind of man. Look, let me explain something to y'all. Fraternity court, Maury Povich, and some of these other courts, Judge Mathis, they said 80% of those cases, 80-something% of those cases are deception, and they're not the father.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Just the ones on TV.
Mm-hmm.
But ask the question, where did they get mama's baby, daddy's baby?
That's been around a long time, brother.
Way before DNA came out.
Yep, long time.
They act like these women is all good and these men is all bad. Men just don't stick around to whine about it.
All right.
A lot of times we're not captured by the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when there's a maybe.
Yeah. You know, and it's funny you should say that.
Men are thinkers. Men are strategic. Men are planners.
And speaking on that subject right there, you know, I hate to cut you off because I want to reinforce what you're saying. You know, women back in the day used to think, and this was a mentality, that if they liked a man, if they have his baby, now he's stuck. Okay? But that ain't never worked.
Especially if you ain't treating him like the man he desires to be, even if he don't deserve it.
That's right.
I know women ain't gonna hear that part. I said, even if he don't deserve it. The God in him, the nature in him, the created being that God made him makes him act in his spirit even when his flesh don't follow.
That's right.
He don't know what he's missing, but his kingship, when it's challenged, he finds somewhere to feel like a king.
Yeah.
And I said this to some women because a woman said this to me not long ago. She said, the dangerous part about a woman cheating versus a man just drops in and drops out. When a woman cheats, she has to submit herself to receive.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wow. You got to become totally engulfed to receive as a woman,
Mm-hmm.
where a man can drop by and keep moving.
Right. That's right.
And I don't know if y'all get it psychologically of what I'm saying.
Right. That's right.
But you got to lay there. Either way it go. Because I hear somebody in the spirit say, I ain't got to lay, I just been over. Lay there, bend over, lay over, whatever. You got to open up and receive. And in order to receive, no matter how low down you are, no matter how big of a hole you are, you still got to accept the man coming into you.
That's right.
Which is a part of his spirit.
Yep.
The psychological reverse is a man don't always treasure where he's dropped in. Right. Where a woman has, with a heart, with a spirit.
Yeah. Now this is an interesting conversation we done got ourselves into, but I want to touch on it a little bit more and maybe help somebody today, because I think part of that mentality of what you just described has something to do with the way that people are brought up, okay, especially in America, okay, because we always tell our women that our children, our young ladies, as they're growing up, that to cherish, their precious jewels and their, their morality. But then we encourage boys or young men as they're growing up, get all the experience you can, because don't no woman want a man that don't know what he doing. So I think that it's flawed in that message that we give. And I'm gonna tell you how I first came. Now look, because I was like that. Now I had the true confessions here. I was like that, but I got a set of twins, a boy and a girl.
Wow.
And their mama checked me one day. She said, "Now don't be telling your son that it's okay to smash everything that he can smash, and then tell your daughter that she can't do the same thing. So make up your mind which side of this coin you're going to be on. Either they both got permission or neither one got permission." And I was like, oh, that's deep.
So I got one better than that. I don't know if you got a hold to the paperwork in Chicago. It sounds like you read it, though.
No, I ain't got it yet, because you won't stop by and give me one, man. And
no.
I've been since the last time I saw you, I've been treated like a stepchild. I know you got a newspaper, because I done heard you talk about it, and I don't think you, and I didn't see it. You flash me with it, every now and then. You won't even tell me where I can go get one at in Chicago. You was here and wouldn't even give me a call, but that's okay. Go ahead, we're gonna talk about that.
Go to Shine, Shoe Shine, King.
That's on the west side. I live out south, man. I need it in my neighborhood. Go ahead, keep going. You talking about what's in the paper? Go ahead.
I told you about on 87.
Okay.
Next to Garrett's, I can't even think of it. The name of the restaurant.
I remember which one you're talking about.
In my paper it said, "Don't lose heaven running after hell.
Okay.
Mismanaged men unmatched because they are trained to be unmanageable.
Mm-hmm.
Women will train a man to be mismanaged while she's getting him, and then want him to man up when she got him.
Right.
Now, what do I mean? I have no business spending all my money on you
Mm-hmm.
as somebody I'm getting to know.
Right.
I have no business paying your bills, and you're not
Mm-hmm.
my wife. You're
Mm-hmm.
teaching me to mismanage myself and my money.
Mm-hmm.
Then when you get me, you wonder why that other woman is able to use your money. It's because you train me to be mismanaged.
Mm-hmm.
Our society raised Johns, not gentlemen.
Mm. Say that again, please.
Our society is better at raising Johns, because that's who pay for the shoes. That's who buy the red bottoms. That's who buy the Louis Vuittons. That's who buy the Gucci's. That's who buy the Chanel's. A John, not a gentleman. That's who fly you across town, across the state. That's who send you to Dubai with your girlfriend.
Right.
A John, not a gentleman. They don't want to be called hoes. But if you create a John, what does that make you?
Well, come on now. If the red bottom shoes fit, you got to wear them.
And it's sad, but it's popular to say I'm going to get my money because I'm going to sleep with you anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Daughters are being taught by aunties and best friends to sell themselves instead of treasure themselves.
Right. Yep.
We got a community of hoe supporters, but not wife developers.
Mm.
I hope I make sense to somebody.
Yeah.
They'll develop hoes. They'll develop, trying to find some, I don't know. They'll develop some knee catchers. I read between the lines. And some back layers. But they won't develop ladies and chefs
Mm-hmm.
and gentle influencers. You should be able to gently influence your man
Mm-hmm.
to create a vision. First of all, the other story I got in here is God still in marriage?
Mm. That's a deep question.
Wait a minute. People want to create their own vows now. They don't want to say better for worse. They don't want to say sickness to death. And God is flipping this. It used to be women taking care of men. I've heard more women with some kind of nerve disease in the last 5 to 10 years, either MS and now it's some kind of nerve disease where people it ain't even MS.
Mm-hmm.
You think you getting a man so you can take advantage of him. You better get a man who gonna love you enough because he might have to take care of you.
Right. That's true.
He might have to change your diaper.
That's true. You know, and it's funny you should say that. I know a story that speaks specifically to what you just said. Young man was married to a woman. They were of Arab descent, and she got sick to the point where she became paralyzed.
It can happen.
He gave her back to the mother and father. He didn't even want to be with her no more. He gave her back
It
to
is
the
so
mother and
many
father.
shadow relationships that our community is fractioning from every being that holds us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a house, you got a beam that holds to the
Mm-hmm.
foundation. And everything above that foundation is supported by those beams. Women are the beams to the men that are the foundation. And they keep
Mm-hmm.
following after hut takers.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't got no foundation. They just got a hut.
Mm-hmm.
He make money, but he ain't got no foundation. He make money, but he ain't got no vision. He make money, but he don't. You better hear what I'm saying. He don't have a drive to be something past what he is.
Right.
But because you can teach him to be mismanageable, you will stay in the spot and not knowing you've been captured by your own game.
Yeah. Now I don't have access to the newspaper because you know. So is in the newspaper with all these articles that you have. Now, what's the answer? What's the problem? Let's cut to the chase. We've identified the problem. So now, how do we solve? What do you recommend?
So in the first one, where I talk about the mismanaged men, I talk about having a focus on a man that has a vision, number one.
Mm-hmm.
You don't follow a man that ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
I don't care how much money he got. I don't care how much potential he has. He's got to be getting en route to something. But we get stuck on the elements
Mm-hmm.
instead of the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Elements don't last, and they're not fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
The other one where I talk about God is God in marriage. Let me. I want to get it right because I don't want y'all looking for the wrong story. And I wish I had my receipt so I could tell you exactly the restaurant that it was in. But it's right next to Jerry's Popcorn on
I know what you're
87th.
talking about. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. I want to say I want to say rest something. I can't remember exactly, but it's I know where Garrett's is on 87. They've been there forever.
Yeah,
You know. Yeah.
right across the street from the car wash, right there
Right.
by Foot
Yeah,
Locker.
I know exactly what you're talking
If
about.
you was on Cottage Grove in 87, it's right
Right.
there. You can walk.
Right. Just west of Cottage Grove on 87th Street. Yeah, because that's
Exactly.
where Garrett. Yeah, I know
Okay,
where it's
does
at.
God still
Yeah.
work for marriage is what I said.
Country Rest Kitchen.
Yeah,
Country Rest Kitchen. Yep.
I said, does God still work for marriage? And it's talking about all of the things they do with social media and you know, if you go on Facebook right now, doctors, judges, lawyers, dentists, preachers, there's more pictures of their buttocks than their beauty.
Well, look, wait a minute. I'm finna mess with you a little bit. You know, maybe they think that, you know, you can't behold their face, so you got to see their hinder parts. Go ahead, preacher. Go ahead. I'm just messing with you.
Do I talk about the children being dysfunctional, the sexual perversion, the dysfunctional households, the mismanaged whole household, and the reason why stuff is happening and don't happen right is they're not submitting to God. Their children don't know God. Their daughters don't know God. Their sons don't know God. And the answer to that is getting back to God.
Okay.
Having a principle where you get a man that's covering because he's covered by God.
Mm-hmm.
Just to know of God is not enough. Too many people know of him, but they don't know him.
Right.
Now watch this. Because you go to church don't mean you know him.
Mm.
You know of him.
Right.
Because you go to prayer meeting don't mean you know him. You're beginning to know him. There's a relationship requirement. There is a relationship counteractiveness.
Mm-hmm.
In order to get God's benefits. So let me ask you a question. You go to the hospital. You don't have insurance. Now, let's not say the hospital because they got to take you. You go to the doctor's office. You don't have insurance. And you ain't got no money in your pocket. What do they owe you?
They don't owe you
You ain't going
nothing.
to get past the reception.
Nope. Because that's the first thing they're going to ask you. What kind of insurance you got? Oh, you in the wrong place.
They're going to identify who you are, so when you give them the card, you ain't giving them the wrong card.
Mm-hmm.
Because there used to be a time back in the day, folk, they'll send you to their doctor or to a doctor with their card.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
If you go back 30 and 40 years, there's people who got diseases that they never had.
That's true. That's true. Now you got to show your ID, everything.
You got to verify that the person that you're looking at is the person that you're going to be servicing.
That's right.
Our goal can't be to keep with this dysfunction. At some junction, we got to walk in the righteousness of Christ. You ain't got to stop being who you are, but you ain't got to be Judas either.
All right now.
You ain't got to stop who you are, but you ain't got to be Peter and deny him either.
Yeah.
You ain't got to stop being who you are, but you ain't got to be Mary the hoe either.
All right now.
You ain't got to stop being who you are. And you ain't got, you better hear me, you ain't got to be Jeremiah and don't want to preach to him no more.
Right.
Or Jonah and run from preaching.
Right.
God gave me a message this morning, and I don't know if I sent it to you, but I sent it to everybody who's on my feed. And I talk about the value of a love and a passion. And watch this. If you're doing what you love and it's accepted by God, do it with passion and respect. And you'll wake up one day and realize it was part of your purpose.
Right. That's right.
Let me say it again. If you're doing what you love and you do it with the respect of what God would accept, you do it with love, respect, and passion, you'll wake up and realize it's part of your purpose.
Yeah.
We got to stop looking for purpose to be something that God is hiding from us.
Yeah.
I'm tired of everybody thinking God is hiding your purpose.
No.
Well, I don't know what my purpose is.
That's not true.
You're working in your purpose.
If
you just got to do what you love and make sure it's something that God wants you to do.
That's right. You said it. It's interesting, and I'm just co-signing, okay? I'm not going no place else but just co-signing. Recently on social media, they have been a series of Miles Monroe clips been popping up, and Miles Monroe, his entire message throughout his whole ministry was all about purpose, and finding your purpose, fulfilling your purpose, operating within your purpose. And you can't separate the love from the purpose. So just co-signing what you're saying. It's all over social media. They got these algorithms that stuff start popping up, and then more of it keeps coming. So anybody that's on social media, if you see anything from Miles Monroe, he's talking that same language of love and purpose. So I just want to
And what
co-sign
I
it.
discovered is what I do, I love to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's acceptable by God. Not only is it acceptable by God, I do it with respect and passion.
Mm-hmm.
It has become a love that has accepted by God, which means he opens up the door for it to happen, which means because it's something he's doing it with me. He will give me the access of the tools that I need in order to get it done, which
Mm-hmm.
means if I respect it, other people will respect it. And the word will become manifested by men and women pouring from them into me, which becomes an acceptable purpose that God has given through me.
Absolutely.
I capture the moment for a lifetime of history.
Mm-hmm.
And what that has done has opened up doors all over the country. God has given me favor because I love, respect, and have passion because of God. It has been a
Absolutely.
fulfilled, manifested purpose. And the
Absolutely.
problem is men and women spend too much time on their knees and their back and not,
Mm.
you better hear what I'm saying, not praying. Walking in your purpose will give you a fulfillment with passion and love. But the problem is we're absent from the passion. We're absent from the respect. We're absent from the love. And we just running after the purpose with no passion, no love, and no respect.
Mm-hmm.
And so we get confused. And I refuse to be confused about a passion that God has manifested through me, for me,
Mm-hmm.
to allow me to prosper.
Absolutely.
And I
So
learned this
now,
last year.
now, let me jump into this right quick. Hold on 1 second. Don't go too fast, because I need to make sure that people understand that your passion and your purpose is your newspaper, and you travel all over the country and around the world covering, events historically, and even now, by you being in DC and all the places, they can see your newspaper in all these places and be able to seek it out. And you have the website up here, the shotnews live.com, where even if they're not in a location where you have the newspaper physically, they can still go there and partake of the newspaper, because I didn't want to go past that too fast. Okay, I want to make sure people know that you're operating in your purpose. Okay, the newspaper, and where they can find the newspaper and where they can participate in what you're doing. So now I'm gonna let you pick it up right there where I left that off at.
The best thing is Detroit Times Media at gmail.com is my email. Detroit, DETROIT, Times, TIMES, Media, MEDIA, at gmail.com. I have no problem with answering the phone, 313-442-6111. Just know this. If you call with some foolishness, don't be talking about, you supposed to be a preacher. And you supposed to respect me as one. Because if you come to me wrong, I'm going to flip it wrong. Somebody talk to me. You know, I'm not the Peter that denied him. I'm the Peter that cut off the ear when they came too close.
Yeah.
You just better hope Jesus is there to put it back on. I'm tired of people thinking they can challenge the men and women of God, and we supposed to just be there. Oh, just slap me twice. Hell to the null, to the 15 power, to the 99 level, to the XYZ chromosome, hell to the no.
Well, and
I'm
look,
tired of
and speaking to that point, they got to realize you from Detroit, so y'all ain't no, Y'all ain't no wusses over there in Detroit now. Come
You
on
better,
now.
you better ask Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, and who was that little skinny dark skin one? Dennis Rodman, all the rest of them. That
Yeah,
we was
yeah,
all
yeah.
bad boys for a reason.
Right, right, right,
Yeah.
right, right.
We had to run
Yeah.
them Chicago West Side Negroes back to Chicago to go get a ring the right way. They tried to cheat the first time.
Okay. All right.
But
Well,
we
look, we
taught
ain't
them
gonna
how to win.
we look. Your newspaper ain't a sports column, so we ain't finna go there. uh,
Don't,
but
don't, don't go to crying about your Bulls. They would
uh,
not be the Bulls that they are if they didn't go through the Pistons.
yeah, yeah. Well, they had to put them in their place eventually, you
Yeah,
know. And then
the
and then they
Bulls
went to
got
New
taught by
York.
the
Then
Pistons.
then then they had to go to New York and put them in their place, so they know who the road to the finals went through. Okay, you
No, no, no,
know.
no, no. You got it confused. They came. Detroit taught them how to win.
They did, and they said that.
Yeah.
They gave Detroit the
Now I'm gonna
props
give
that they
y'all credit.
deserve.
I'm gonna give you a little credit. You better catch it while you can. You ain't gotta steal it. I'm gonna give it to you. You do know one of the bad boys of the Detroit Pistons was the Chicago Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know.
So I just want to give y'all that credit. But we taught him how to be what he needs to be. When you come to Detroit and learn anything, you become the best at it.
Okay.
Now let me say this before we push out of here. Value what you love.
Mm-hmm.
Ask God daily to give you not just the answer, but ask him to give you favor. Favor is not fair.
No, it's not.
It's for his children. You don't go to Mercedes for a Ford warranty. Many of y'all are coming to God for a warranty that don't belong to him.
Mm.
You don't know him. You don't respect him. You don't obey him. And you don't follow him. Requirements to get his promise. Y'all can play this game all day long. He loves me. He do. But the favorite is for his obedient children. I'd rather have him and know I can get it than know of him and have no access to him. I'm telling y'all better stop playing. Times are getting more and more dangerous.
Yeah.
Wickedness is growing. And you really need to know him and have a relationship. You want to know how I got everything I got? I stayed in church. I pay my tithes. And I have a relationship. I don't let a day go by where I ain't talking to God. I don't care what I'm doing, what I didn't do. I do a meal and a message. You can go to my Facebook, Gary Hunter. I do a meal and a message at least 2 or 3 times a week. While I'm teaching you how to cook, I'm teaching you how to serve and be worship and praise. Because it's more important that you get God in you and not need him, but you go need him.
Right.
Than to not have him in him.
That's right.
And then you need him.
Yep.
So thank you, Dr. Ron. I appreciate it. But I want to say to mothers and fathers and sons and daughters, the devil is too busy for you to have a fight with each other about anything.
Mm-hmm.
You're not promised tomorrow. And we losing people every day. Yeah. I've talked to 3 funeral home directors in the last week. 3. One in Michigan, one in California, one in Illinois. All of them talking about how much they ain't having no problem with business.
Right.
folk dying and getting killed. The funeral business is booming.
Yeah.
And the question is, will you be next?
Yeah.
And if you were next, what would happen?
Yep. That's absolutely correct. Everybody get a turn, as my cousin always say. Everybody get a turn. Yep. Yeah. So look, we got a couple of minutes left. We talked about a lot of stuff today. Did we get a chance to touch on everything that you wanted to touch on? I know we talked about the paper and what's in this edition. So is there anything else that you needed to hit on?
I want us all to be mindful of the historical things that our children are missing out on. In a minute, they're about to unveil the John Lewis stamp. Yes, I will be there. It's not only happening, it's happening on the historical grounds of the Morehouse College.
Okay.
This will be a perfect opportunity for you to take your son somewhere that is not a game. It's not somewhere to play. It ain't about where y'all gonna eat dinner, but you're gonna be standing on the ground of Dr. Carter G. Wilson, Dr. Mays, Benjamin Mays, and other great men, Martin Luther King, who went to Morehouse College, and listen to me. The experience that you will have will be one of the greatest experiences of history. Because I'm quite sure when you leave there, you're going to go over to Auburn Street and visit the King Center. And then when you leave there, there's a Civil Rights Museum downtown. You just got to have some fun. There's an aquarium that's beautiful with whales and everything. I'm saying to you, the Martin Luther King home down the street from the King Center. The week of July the 21st.
Okay.
You need to be there.
All right now.
You need to be there because we need to start taking our children to learn something, to put something in them.
Mm-hmm.
You a sad mama if your child has been to every amusement park and no museums.
Mm.
You a sad mother. Yeah, I said it. And I said it in your face. Mm-hmm. You said if you ain't took your children down to Tuskegee, Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama, Selma, Alabama. I'm so sick of meeting grown women and men that don't know what Bloody Sunday is.
Mm.
Now, there is 2 Bloody Sundays, but I'm talking about John Lewis in 1963 or 8 or whatever it is, was jumped on by...
Uh-oh. He froze up. He froze up, y'all. I don't know what happened. Maybe his phone rang. You know, maybe he'll pop back in. There you go. Your phone must have rang because you popped out.
Way before. Sorry about that. Way before Tamir Rice. Way before all of that.
That's right.
There's names we could call that we've never heard of. You need to go to Montgomery, Alabama, to the Lynching Museum, and to the Lynching Memorial. I can't say it loud enough. Stop bragging about being a strong black woman and a good black mother if you don't tell your children and show your children where we came from. If you don't go to Memphis, Tennessee, and take them to the Lorraine Hotel. If you don't go to Atlanta, Georgia, and take them to the King Home. If you don't take them to Tuskegee, Alabama, one of our premier veterinary medicine schools in the world. If you don't have the audacity to take them there, at least take them to the Fashion Museum of the Century, the Afro-American Museum of History and Culture, right here in D.C., where it'll start from cotton picking all the way up to today's incarceration issues.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, look, man, we got to get out of here. We got about 1 minute left on the clock. I got 2 questions. You know, I always ask 2 questions before we get out of here. First one, will you come back and see me again?
Maybe if you buy me dinner when I'm in Chicago.
Well, you got to let me know you're here, man. You can't be sneaking in under the cover of darkness. Talking
Yeah,
about
you
I
know,
was
I
in
told you I was
Chicago.
coming. I told you I was coming Friday. I didn't know I was gonna be leaving Sunday. I thought I was gonna be leaving
Uh,
Monday, but I had to be back so I can get here.
all right. Now the second question is, what are the thoughts that you would like to leave with the people before you leave on today? I know you talked about taking the parents, taking the kids places, but what's your final words?
My final words would be: make sure that you find something that God can approve of, that you can love, find passion and respect, so it could become not only an enrichment for you, but an enrichment for those around you. Most purposes are not tied to you. Most purposes are tied to who God got them through. It comes through you for others, because what
Absolutely.
for you is coming from somebody else. And so when you keep the link going, love your passion with respect, it'll manifest to be a happy, fulfilling purpose. And don't be afraid to understand that you got more than one purpose. Don't get
Absolutely.
lost in fighting for a purpose. You got many of them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I want to thank you, my brother, for taking time out of your busy schedule to hang out with us again. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. I love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. We will be talking, staying in touch with each other. I just appreciate you, and I can't thank you enough. So you stay right there. We're going to end the show. I want to invite everybody out on tomorrow, Street News Now. Check me out each and every Wednesday at noon for news commentary on Street News Now. I will be there tomorrow. I want to invite everybody out to join me each and every Saturday from the desk of Dr. Ron. Get a chance to hear some of my commentaries and see what I'm talking about right here on the network. And I want to thank each and every person that have made donations and contributions. Please keep up the good work. Thank you so very much. I can't do it without you, and I need your support. Please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please spread the word. Tell somebody that we got it going on over here. And I appreciate y'all, and I look forward to seeing you guys on tomorrow. Stay blessed.